let's talk about censorship. So, a little while ago, a new policy started getting enforced in Rainbow Six Siege. If you said the N-word in Siege, boom, you got banned. And you could get banned permanently if it was egregious enough, or if you just kept saying, nigga, 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 nigga. And a lot of very vocal people were like, yeah, kill the motherfucker, alright! And a lot of other people were like, let me say, and I was like, Now, you probably already know that my dad is a black guy. And my dad, he always had this very unique way of looking at the N-word. To him, it was just a word. It didn't fucking bother him. It's just a word. And he thought that people who used it in anger or to humiliate people, they're just fucking stupid assholes. They're like dogs. You don't pay any attention to the wildlife. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're unthinking. They're assholes. And that was about as far as his opinion went, and I really do agree with that. But taking something away from somebody when they've purchased it, you know, just because they said the N-word? No. It's theirs. As a friend of mine said last night, you can kick somebody out of a restaurant, but you don't fucking punch them in the stomach until they throw up everything that they ate in there. This is going way too fucking far. I know that you can prevent people from speaking if they're, like, just gonna attack people verbally over and over and over, but if you're taking a product that they paid for out of their hands just because, like, they're acting like a punk, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I have a better solution. But first, I want to address what you might be thinking. Now, you might be thinking, well, Ix, yeah, because that's my nickname, they said a bad word. I mean, like, your dad was probably called it a couple of times, right? Yeah. He was. But it's just a word. And I think it's useful for people to be able to say it because the minute you hear them say it, you know exactly what they're like on the inside. And that's fucking valuable knowledge. Now, I was reminded of all of this because PC Gamer and Eurogamer, they have hinted recently that they believe that people who are in Steam groups with offensive names, that they should be banned from Steam. As in, these people should have their entire Steam libraries just snatched out from under them. You know what I think about hate speech online in general? Just mute the motherfuckers manually. It's all very simple. I'm gonna lay it out for you. We figured this out when I was a kid, 20 fucking years ago. I was in a chat room and there was a command. It was called /ignore. If you /ignored somebody, they disappeared. They disappeared completely. You couldn't see them in any capacity. It was like you had erased their very existence from everywhere. Now this did two things. One, the person who got ignored would scream into the void and they wouldn't get anything from you, and the person who didn't want to hear their shit got to live a life free of this motherfucker's presence. The ignored person could just yell and yell and yell and eventually just fuck off because you can't get any reaction when nobody can fucking see you. Now, I see a lot of video game companies saying, well, we're gonna police user behavior. It's not gonna fucking work. It's not feasible. There are too many motherfuckers playing this shit for that to ever work. Again, I have a solution. You're not gonna fucking like it if you're a video game company, but I have a solution and it will work 100% of the time. In Splatoon 2, if you block a player, you will never ever fucking see them again. They are gone from the fucking world unless you unblock them. You can't get matched with them and they can't fucking bother you until you choose to allow them to continue bothering you. Now, I have a question. Why don't more games have shit like this? Why don't more social media platforms have shit like this? On Twitter, I've blocked and muted hundreds upon hundreds of fucking people. And yet, I still fucking see their tweets every single goddamn day in search and on the main timeline when people retweet or fucking like their tweets. All of these problems with harassment online can be easily fixed with one system. /ignore. If you don't like somebody, if you never want to fucking see them again, /ignore. You can just fucking instantly ignore them throughout the entire system. And when you put this into a game, make sure there's absolutely no penalty for somebody to drop out once they've ignored somebody. Because fuck it, it's a video game. Why would you have to fucking play with somebody you don't want to fucking play with? Make it simple. If you don't like somebody, there should be a button there and poof, they're fucking gone. You've just completely removed them from your experience and there's no downside. Now, you probably already fucking know this by how I talk about it, but I don't play Siege. I don't play Overwatch. I'm old. So I'm not going to pretend that I know anything about that. But based on a little bit of research, in Siege, you can't block players. Or at least, you haven't been able to block players for 2 fucking years. And in Overwatch, I saw some guy saying that people are still seeing the people that they blocked in matches. Now why is that a thing? We both know why that's a thing, right? The inability to block people completely or just /ignore them in these systems, it's all because these companies want to keep their player numbers up and they want to keep them queues going with a bunch of toxic assholes. And all the toxic assholes are going to be the people who play this game fucking non-stop because they don't have anything better to do with their lives. So basically, we have video game companies saying, well, we need to do something about these people, but really, you know, they're playing this game fucking 18 hours a day, so you don't want to get rid of them. Well, you have a choice. Either you make sure that people can just push them out of their site completely, or you just let them run rampant. You can have a thriving game that nobody fucking wants to play, or you can choose to have a less lively player base, but no toxicity. None. Because you can just say, I don't fucking like you. Poof, gone. We fucking fixed this problem in the 90s. Did you forget? I know you didn't forget. You don't want to institute a command like this because you're afraid that it'll affect the game queue times. Well, I don't really give a shit. You can have toxic game, or you can have fun game. Your choice.